to order. And let's do the pledge. Those who are veterans can render a hand salute. Otherwise, a hand over your heart will suffice. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Well, we already pretty much did a roll call. Who do we have otherwise recording the minutes?
I am.
Donna's here.
I'm here.
Okay, Donna, thank you very much. All right. Next up on the agenda here, number 4 is the approval of the minutes from the special meeting on 30 March. Do I have, are there any questions or anything about the minutes? Otherwise, I will ask for a motion to approve.
Jay, I think in the minutes I was referred to as Alderman. I thank everyone for the promotion, but that's not correct.
Oh, okay. Is this Wayne?
Yes, it's Wayne.
There was
Okay.
a referred to as an alderman in those minutes also. I forget
Oh,
who-
okay.
Just wanted
Got
to,
it.
yeah. That's fine.
All right. Well, then certainly we'll amend the, the position to what it should be.
I'll take the demotion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Moving on.
Jay, can we, while we're on minutes, can we talk about 2 other sessions in which one, the minutes have not been posted and 2, the minutes have not been corrected? The January meeting, January 13th meeting was supposed to have been corrected. It was supposed to eliminate discussion prior to the meeting started. I've not seen anything posted online for that, nor have I seen posting of the minutes for the March 24th meeting.
All right. Paul, do you know anything about that?
I'm not certain on that. No.
I do recall hearing it, but, I didn't realize that it had not yet been changed.
I don't post,
Nice. That's fine.
but it is fixed.
And or even posted for that matter.
I'm hearing that it has been corrected, but it just hasn't been posted.
Okay. All right.
Back into that tomorrow morning or early next week.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Paul. Okay. Moving on. All right. So we have a contingency account report in let's see here, in A. All right, do we have, let me see, what do we have for the contingency account report? And even transfer report?
Correct. Both of those accounting schedules are included. This is Wayne.
Say again?
They're both included with our package and they look to be okay from my perspective.
Okay, very good. All right, any other questions or concerns about the contingency account report or the transfer report?
Just to follow up on a discussion that we had at the last meeting, we had suggested that to the aldermen that in their use of bonding of expenses, we had recommended a report similar to that we have for the contingency report to be used for that bonding so that we have an accounting trail of those transactions. I just want to remind everyone that that was a discussion we had. And these 2 reports would be a good example of what we would be looking for.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, Paul, you have any comments or anything to that?
I heard Wayne's comments, so
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'm in, I've heard Wayne's comments and we can address these, yeah.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing further with the contingency report or any concerns on the transfer report, let's move on to new business. All right, we have Dean Cawthra from the tree warden. He has a request for $6,000 from trees and shrubs to tree maintenance. All right. Paul, or rather, Mr. Cawthra, do you have anything to say with respect to that?
Yeah, we kind of need to transfer it.
Okay. All right.
Because the money,
I mean, it seems straightforward to me.
Yeah, can I, Jay, this is Wayne, I have just a quick question for Dean. Thank you again.
Go ahead, Wayne.
So you're gonna transfer 6,000 out of trees and shrubs into the tree maintenance account, correct? So that basically says we're not gonna do any planting of extra trees and shrubs this year.
in the fall.
In the
With the
fall,
new budget.
under the next budget.
Mhm.
So, okay, so you have like a plan, something that you're worried?
A lot of people have come in volunteering to
Okay,
do
okay.
stuff, so we're gonna try to go with that.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, so you're gonna accomplish that in November. And then in the tree maintenance, then, so that will push that up to 106,000. We think that's gonna cover you for the year?
We get some good hurricanes at night,
You're hoping,
we're hoping.
okay. So I see next year you've got 120,000 in the budget. Okay, so that's probably closer to the right number.
It's getting there.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or concerns?
Yes, I
Okay,
have a
Cawthron?
comment. On
All
that.
right, go ahead. Go ahead,
Earlier,
Joe.
I think more money is, should be earmarked for the tree warden and the tree department. That money, I think, is necessary. As I recall, during the winter, some streets being half closed off because of fallen branches, hemlock, for example. And that shouldn't be, and maybe more money. That $6,000 would help to solve that problem. And it wasn't only hemlock, there are a few other streets that had branches hanging in them to block off at least half the street. Definitely a hazard at night, and shouldn't be. So I would be in favor of doing the $6,000 transfer.
Okay, very good. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you.
Coming.
Thank you for coming.
All right, then we have a request from Accounting and Control to transfer 40,000 from the regular payroll to part-time employees. Do we have anybody here from Accounting and Control?
Hey. Paul Heller.
Okay, very good, Paul. Go ahead.
Basically, what this is, we had a retirement in our department last July. Woman who had been with the city for probably 15 years, retired. We have replaced that position on a temporary basis during that period of time. The permanent, the job had been posted. We've gone through the interview process, and I anticipate that a permanent person will be hired or retained by the 1st of June. However, what that has done, we've had 3 people who are on a part-time basis, and there's an excess in the regular payroll account, and we estimate, and it's an estimation, $40,000 transfer out of regular payroll into the part-time payroll. As I say, it's primarily a result of the retirement of a full-time person and moving a temporary, or what was considered a temporary employee. He was working on a full-time basis, but on a provisional basis, obviously, for the last 10 months, really. But that should be changed not later than June 1st, as I say, where there'll be a permanent assignment, will roll back in.
Jay, it's Wayne.
Okay.
Just a couple follow-up questions for Paul. So Paul, right now, so you're gonna take 40,000 out of the 1001 account, right? And transfer. it
Yes,
to
out of the
1002.
regular payroll.
1002. That will basically increase your budget to $139,000. But I see that next year you've only got 92,000 in there, so.
We had
is this gonna be
requested
changed?
that, but I think what
Is
the
it gonna
mayor's
change back?
recommendation is, you say for the budget is 75,000. We should be back to just 2 personnel working on a part-time basis, on a limited basis.
Okay, so this is just for this budget
This
year,
is
and
just for this year to
then it's
get
gonna
us,
revert back to the
to get
previous
us to
staffing
June
levels.
30th, because the one individual who has been working, well, particularly since we went back to January 1st to full-time hours, has been working a full 35-hour week, but is being charged to part-time because
Got it.
that individual has not been, well, might be selected.
Okay,
But that decision has not been finalized, but it should within the next 2 weeks be finalized.
so it shouldn't cause you a perturbation for 2023 then?
I'm
So
sorry.
It shouldn't cause you a problem for 2023 then, once
No,
it flips.
no, I don't anticipate it because we don't, one never knows. We kind of, we knew this other individual was retiring,
Right.
we just didn't know when.
Okay.
And we want to get someone in for training purposes and get the right people. It's worked out, I mean, but,
Maybe from my background, I'm all about doing this. I think this is really important to be done during the year because what you're doing is you're setting the baseline for the next year. So you've got it corrected. So we want to understand how things change from year to year. This is the way we understand that. So that's a great explanation.
Okay, do we have any other questions?
Just a
Concerns?
comment. Just a June after, just a comment and observation. I believe.
Go ahead,
Mr.
Joe.
Yeah, I believe that Mr. Hiller intends for this part-time situation to go on for a limited time, and then there'll be a return to full-time. Not necessarily with the accounting department, but with other departments. I've noticed a trend going from full-time to part-time, and hopefully this won't be that. And this full-time person will be permanently hired. And that should take care of the situation. Again, I underline the word hopefully because I've seen otherwise in the city of Shelton occur. Thank you.
All right, very good, thank you. Okay, now the very last thing here on our agenda is to vote for the proposed budget.
Jay,
don't we
we have
need
to vote on this
make-
transfer.
We have
I'm
to vote on
sorry,
this.
I'm sorry, I lost track.
transfer.
I thought we already had done that. I apologize.
Okay.
Thank you.
I make a motion to transfer 40,000 from the permanent account to the temporary account.
Second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much for that reminder. I apologize. I thought we had already done that. All right, and certainly the very last thing here on the agenda is to vote for the fiscal year 2023 proposed budget. Now, I got to say that I think that this budget, certainly, is reflective of how well run our city is. There really isn't any more than about maybe a $23,000 difference between the last budget and this one. All right. And yet we still keep on, moving on with a city that, is certainly praised by not just, here in the state of Connecticut, but, throughout the Northeast and or the country for that matter, as it was written, in many magazines. Okay. So I think that a fantastic job is being done here. So do we have a motion to accept the budget for the fiscal year 2023?
I'll make
Right.
a motion to accept the budget for fiscal year 2023 and pass it on to the Board of Aldermen.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Now that was, who was that
John Belden.
John Belden for the second, and it was,
Boyko
Boyko.
for the motion.
okay, very good. All right, thank you. All in favor?
Wait a minute.
You have to ask for discussion first, Jay.
Yes.
I have
Oh,
one
my-
comment to make. We have received, and I have spoken to the mayor, actually in the mayor's budget administrative office, there's a line, 411-60-39, public communications. That is the line that basically funds the code red call system for public safety purposes. We have just received this week, in fact, the bill for the renewal of that service, and it is for $16,200. We frankly don't have much wiggle room as far as that's concerned. It's not a significant addition, but it's an addition
Excuse me.
of $400. I've spoken to the mayor about it, obviously, and it's something that's essential, I think, to the public safety area. And his recommendation, you could pass it on, but it's gonna have to, Board of Aldermen will see the information. I could get you a copy of the invoice from the vendor, but it only adds $1,200. Not a lot in a essentially $130 million budget.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Any other questions or
Mr. Chairman,
concerns?
yeah, Jay, it's Eric, of McPherson Board of Aldermen.
Okay, Eric, go ahead. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that that can come with the recommendation and the Board of Aldermen. We will get the information too. And that's something that we can address, and I'm quite sure we will address, because it is a very vital service, and it is widely used. So that's something that the Board of Aldermen will take care of once we get the budget and we go through our line items, go through all of the lines and everything. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Any other questions or comments?
Yes, I have a comment, Mr. Chairman. This time around, this is Joe Napick, I would vote for the proposed budget because it would be functional, and that's a key word. Hopefully, the aldermen will make the modifications suggested at the last two meetings, particularly see to it that the Board of Ed's responsibility for special education is satisfied. At this point, there's been no petitioning for changes by department heads. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody else?
I'd like to make a comment, please.
Okay, go ahead. Who's speaking?
It's Wayne Bragg.
Okay, Wayne, go ahead.
Just following up on a conversation that we had with the Board of Aldermen last week. And the issue has to do with underruns and the department heads coming to the meetings and so on. And that is very, very concerning to me. I'm reading the charter under section 7.3. It says the Board of Apportionment and Taxation shall review the proposed budget, holding at least one departmental hearing in joint session with the Board of Aldermen at which the departments may appear. I understand that, but then it goes on to say, and such other departmental hearings as the Board of Apportionment and Taxation shall deem appropriate. In my opinion, I asked several questions about why there were underruns. And I went back and I spent hours going through every line item of this budget. I did this for a living for 30 years. This was my life at Sikorsky Aircraft. I met with every department every week for an entire year, doing nothing but this kind of work. When the department heads do not come to the meetings and do not provide us with an explanation as to why they were underrun, I am flying blind. I have no idea what's in that budget and what is in that budget. It's just not fair. I'm not in a position to be able to agree to the budget or not to agree to the budget. In the email that just came out today from the chief of police, he talks about being under budget by a position and says it's been that way forever. That's why you have underruns. We need to understand why they're in that position, why those positions aren't being filled. This is the problem. This is our job. This is part of the reason that we're here. I don't look at this through a political lens. I look at this through a business lens. I've done this for years. I understand how to manage budgets, And we have to take a different view of this. Just because the budget is flat from year to year, doesn't mean it's accurate.
Well, I want to thank you very much for, certainly all the work that you've done with, Sikorsky Aircraft, but, certainly I've got to say that, there's, to me, there's not that much of a comparison at all to what, you've done at Sikorsky and here. Sikorsky, you have different other people to answer to, all right, such as the Marine Corps, the Army, etc. But, again, I want to thank you very much for that time that you've done that. Okay. I know that the Board of Aldermen, all right, will certainly take care of and deal with any underruns with respect to the police chief. He certainly sent everybody his comments with respect to the budget, and folks have been invited to, if they had any concerns about their budget. Obviously, they did not have any problems or concerns whatsoever, so they did not attend any meetings, nor did they send in anything in writing. All right, so I think that, again, that just speaks, to, how our city is run, and being run in a very efficient way. All right, but thank you very much, Wayne. I appreciate that. Anybody else for any other comments?
To finish his comments, please let him do so.
And he has done so. All right, so again, moving on. Do we have just as a reminder, I assume that we have not yet voted to approve the budget. Do I hear a motion to approve the budget for the year 2023?
Jay, you already have a motion in a second. We need to just take a
Okay,
vote.
very good. Thank you. Thank you. My apologies. Again, I lost my track there. All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So the budget.
You have to
passed.
ask for opposed. You have to ask for opposed, Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard everybody, saying aye. My apologies. Anybody opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, to opposed, who are you?
Wayne and Jarrett.
Okay. All right, so I guess at this stage of the game, we're...
And it was Jarrett. Jay, I think it was Jarrett. I couldn't hear it too well.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I did you say, who was that, Jared?
Jarrett, yes.
Okay. All right, so again, let's hear the ayes, because I want to make sure we have the correct count.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, aye by Boyko.
Thank you.
Aye, John Belden.
Thank you. Certainly an aye from me. Who
Aye,
else?
Joe.
All right, Joe. Thank you. Any other ayes? Okay. All right, so the ayes have it. We'll pass the budget on to the Board of Aldermen. Folks, thank you very much. I appreciate.
You have to call for adjournment, Jay.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. We have the adjournment. Can I have a motion for
I'll make a
adjournment, please?
motion for adjournment by Boyko.
Thank you, John. Second? Do we have a second?
I'll second John Belden.
All right, John, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Folks, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody.
You have to take a vote.
Oh, my apologies again. All right. Do I have an aye?
Aye.
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 All right. Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. Huh?
Did you-
I'm sorry, the signal keeps going in and out here.
I said it's unanimous, 6-0 in favor of adjournment.
Okay, thank you. All right, it is unanimous.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. I apologize for not being there. I'm not doing too good. I'm sick today, so I've been in bed all day. Otherwise,
All right,
I would have
thanks.
been there.
No, roger that. Feel better.
Feel better,
Yeah,
John
same.
Belden.
All
Same
right.
here, sorry.
Thank you.
Feel better, John.
All right. Feel better. Thank you. Everybody have a great night. Be safe.